Hello everyone, how you doing today? It's your girl PC and I want to specially welcome you to PC Talk It. Yes, on today's edition of PC Talk It, I want to use this medium to say a very big thank you to all of you that have subscribed to the channel. Thank you so very much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for commenting. And those of you that reached out to me personally, I want to say a very big thank you to you. I appreciate your support. Your girl is grateful and I'm humbled by your support. The love is massive. Thank you so very much. And thank you for coming back today. And today we're going to be talking about something, you know how we do it right here. We talk about something very important, something very unique, and something that's going to help us be better versions of ourselves in our families and in our everyday lives. On PC Talk It, on this channel, we talk about family goals, we talk about relationship tips, we talk about marriage and everybody and anybody in the family. And sometime I come here, I talk to you about my nursing journey and how far I've gone. And also we talk about fashion. I haven't done anything on fashion yet. I'm still trying to put myself together if I want to even go that route, but I promise, because sometimes when I dress up, people compliment what I wear, and I want to just give back and tell people where to get some of those things. And do you know what? Sometimes they're not really expensive. So yes, I'm gonna be sharing that tip with you, but I just want to put myself together to be able to do that. So today we are gonna be talking about something, like I said, it's very special. And I titled this 7 mistakes we make, or 7 mistakes people make before marriage. Yes, 7 mistakes people make, 7 mistakes that we've made. If you're married, you might just be in this category, but if you're not, then girl, you are on point. But if you're married already and you made some of this mistake, PC is not here to talk you down. PC is not here to I made my mistakes also. So we are just here to encourage ourselves, build ourselves up, which is what this community is about, which is what this family is about. We are not talking anybody down. We're just trying to encourage those that are not married how to go about it. And if you're married, you can still apply some of these principles in your marriage and it will work for you. 7 tips or 7 mistakes that people make before marriage. This is important. So when I wanted to talk about this topic, and this number one topic, this number one my husband was like, "Oh, PC, you're a Christian, you're a pastor." So I'm like, yes, that's why I want to talk about it. Yes, that's why if God has called me to do this, then we have to be honest with people. We just have to say the way it is so that people would stop making the mistakes that they've made or that they are making. There are sometimes that divorce, you don't have to. The reason why people go through divorce is because they didn't really talk about some of these things. They didn't talk about them. And yes, if they had talked about some of these things, they won't go through the route of divorce. So that's why I want to encourage us to talk about these things. Number 1 tip: mistakes people make before marriage. 1, they don't talk about their sexual needs. They don't talk about their sexual desire. That is a very strong one. Yes, how many people talk about their sexual desire before marriage? A very handful. I didn't, to be honest. A very handful of people don't ask questions about their sex, don't talk about their sexual desire with their. When I said talk about it, I didn't say do anything. Today's video is not to condemn anybody if you've engaged in premarital sex. That's not what I'm talking about, but I am telling you to talk about it, because as Christians, one of the reasons why Christians go into marriage, because I've heard some people say, "Oh, get married so that the devil is not going to tempt you, you're not going to fall into the temptation." So basically, some people go into marriage because of sex. But why don't we have the courage to talk about it? Why don't we have the courage to bring these things up in our marriage counseling? I don't know if they really talk about it in some marriage counseling, but most times people don't talk about it in in the marriage counseling in the churches, and these are one of the things that the Holy Spirit might not necessarily help you achieve. It's sex. Before you get married to somebody, ask them what's their sex drive. Yes, you have to talk about your sex drive. You have to talk about what are the things that are important as to you. What are the needs? Like, you can even go as far as talking about how many days, how many times in a day, how many times in a week that you get involved in sex and all of those things. Because sex, one of the number one reason for divorce research has it that one of the reasons for divorce is sexual desire, sexual needs. People don't talk about it. And today I want you to really, really search yourselves and come to the point that before you get married, you should talk about talk. I'm emphasizing on the talk, because I know, don't say PC said, I didn't say experiment, I said talk. Sit your partner down, let's talk about it. Like, what arouses you? Like, what are the things that you like during sex? How do you derive pleasure when you're being intimate with your wife? Some people don't really it's not about the intimacy itself. Sometimes it's just about little things that make people happy. So you have to find out what your partner really wants and how you can make them happy in terms of sex, because it's very important. When the sex drive or when the sex is not good in a marriage, it really affects the marriage. You see that somebody is either being starved or somebody is overdoing it. Now, as a Christian, one of the things that you have to find out is if you're marrying somebody that is spontaneous, or you're marrying somebody that is conservative. Now, I don't have any problem with you being spontaneous or being conservative, but you have to let your partner has to know what they're going into. Don't be this spontaneous person that you want to have sex in the bathroom, you want to make love to your partner in the dining room, in the kitchen, and all of that, and your partner is this kind of conservative kind of person. He or she wants to take everything slow, in the right place, the right atmosphere, and now you guys cannot make your marriage work because you are spontaneous, this person is conservative, and now you guys don't enjoy your marriage because the time that this person wants to do it like quickie, this person is not even ready. This person wants a cool and calm atmosphere. So these are the things I'm talking about. You have to know what is important for your sexual desire. You have to know what your partner has to know, what to expect. Don't say I'm a Christian, so the Holy Ghost is not going to take care of this part for you. No, that is why you're hearing this today. Now, let me tell you, because I've heard people say that, oh, as Christians, when they get intimate with their wives or their husbands or their partner, when they get intimate, they feel less holy. Brothers and sisters, brother, sex was orchestrated. Sex was created by God for us to enjoy it. Yes, God made sex for us to enjoy it. Now, mind you, whatever God creates, the devil look for a way to turn that around, to counterfeit that into. So the devil used sex as a weapon of destruction. So don't feel bad. You say, oh, I feel so dirty. I feel so unworthy because I just had sex. It's for you and your wife. If you're married, you don't have to feel any kind of way when you get intimate with your partner. You don't have to, because God created it. Stop feeling guilty. Stop feeling. That's the way the devil uses to rob us of our blessings, to rob us of what we're supposed to be enjoying, because he brings those thoughts into your head. God created sex for us to enjoy it, and it's for married people. So before you get into marriage, talk about it. Okay, talk about it. You guys should come to a conclusion what each other need in sex. Sometimes it can just be mere romance and everybody's gonna be happy. So, but if you don't talk about it, how are you gonna fix it? Don't be holier than thou. Don't be so Holy Ghost filled that you cannot talk about these things. If you don't talk about them before you get married, honestly, if you get married to the two opposite people that I talked about, this person is spontaneous and this person is conservative, and before you know, you guys will start having problem. And that is one of the reasons why people don't enjoy their marriage. You hear that people are cheating, you hear that pastors are cheating, you hear that people are doing one or two things that is unworthy of a Christian. The reason is because you guys didn't talk about it. If you talked about it, you'll be able to know if this person is the right fit for you. Now, I don't even want to go into dive into some situation that people say, oh, I don't get satisfied the usual way. I have to do this. Some crazy nasty things for them to get satisfied. Now that, like I told you, God created sex for you to enjoy it, not for you to be harmed by it. So those people that go extra miles to like blindfold themselves, like handcuff themselves, I mean, you've seen it in the movies, you've seen it, you've read about them, that these people, those kind of people, those are not the kind of people. If somebody tells you or gives you a hint about that, gives you a red flag, don't say, oh, this person is going to change when we get married. They are not going to change when you get married. So there's a way God created sex, like I said, for us to enjoy it, but the devil has a way of turning things around. So brothers and sisters, you have to talk about sex before you get married. Talk. I'm emphasizing on the talk. Talk about it so you know what your partner is expected or is expecting of you, so you guys can make your marriage work. Don't get a divorce. Don't go into marriage not knowing what sex is about, and at the end of the day, you guys are having issues in your marriage. Now, I already took like 10 minutes, 10 minutes talking about that. That's to tell you that it's important, because this is one of the this is one of the reasons people get divorced, like research has it. Number two, people fail to talk about their financial goals. Yes, people don't talk about their financial goals sometimes. I mean, when somebody, men are usually asking the women, what are you bringing to the table? You can only ask somebody that somebody that is not serious with their life what they are bringing to the table. You can't go about asking a CEO, a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an entrepreneur that you see that is busy making money. This person is fulfilled or working. You can't go and ask the person what they are bringing to the table. But if the person asks you what you're bringing to the table, go ahead and politely tell them, this is what I'm bringing to the table, just in case they don't know. You as a lady, go ahead and ask these people. That a guy drives a flashy car, that a guy lives in a fancy house or dresses in a fancy clothes, doesn't mean that they all is well. You have to go in depth to find out what these people do. Ask them, what's your annual revenue? What's your gross income? How much do you earn per hour or in a month? What's your salary like? You guys should talk about this. And what's your goal in 5 years when we get married? In 2 years, what's your short-term goals? What's your your long-term financial goals? You guys should talk about it. Anybody, sisters, anybody that tells you that, oh, because you're asking about those things that you're materialistic, yes, agree, you're materialistic. It's better for you to know what you're going into than to assume that, oh, because this brother buys me this or this brother takes me, he looks okay. Some people can be living in a borrowed house. Some people can be driving borrowed cars. Some people can be wearing borrowed clothes. It's not because that's the way that's the way it is. That's the way society has made people. That's the point that they've gotten into. So you have to be sure of what this person do. How do they generate their revenue? What do they do? What kind of business are they involved in? They say, oh, he's into import and export and import. Find out what he's exporting and what is importing. It's very important. Sisters, be very detailed with your life. Be very detailed with your life. Find out what these people do for a living. Find out what's their credit score. Find out their credit score. How much do you have in your savings? These are the questions you should ask, and it goes both ways. As a man, you can ask a lady that question. As a lady, you can ask a man that question. Find out what's their financial goal. What they plan to do. Is there any money set up? What's the trust fund? Find out something. You have to be very, very very detailed and take your life seriously. Don't just assume. Sisters, it's gone past the days you assume because this brother is buying you this and is taking you shopping, doing all of those things. Those things can be on credit card. Those things can be borrowed money. So you have to be very, 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 very detailed. Find out these things for yourself. It's going to help you. Okay, what's your family spending going to be like, your vacation and all of that, your annual financial plans, like a project. What project are you already having? What project are you going to do in 5 years? Are we going to do in 5 years? Like, let's learn to ask this question. Learn to be involved in the in your spouses or your partner's financial goals and how to manage money. It's very important, because when you just blindly get married, blindly get married to these people, you don't know what to expect, and you think, oh, tomorrow the bank is coming. You say, oh, the house is not your house. Oh, the car is not your car. The things that you thought were his or were hers aren't. These things are just superficial. So you have to find out what you're going into, because it's going to help you make informed decision. You're gonna know what you're doing. Don't go into a marriage blindly, not knowing the financial status of who you're marrying. It's very dangerous. Find out what they do, if that thing is going to sustain you for a long time, your short term and long term goals financially. Find out about them. It's very important. Most people didn't do it, so if you didn't do it, you can start retracing your step and try to fix that right now. Tip number 3, people fail to talk about childbearing, kids, and everything. Brothers and sisters, don't think because you just are going to get married that this person is in the same is at the same pace with you. Like, oh, you're going to get kids, you're getting married because you were getting married because you want kids. Did you find out if your partner wants to have kids? Did you find out if your partner wants to have kids? Not everybody wants to have kids, and it's okay. Not everybody wants to have kids. Some people don't want to have kids. Some people don't want to have kids. Don't say, oh, how can you tell me somebody does not want to have kids? Yes, and it's not a Western culture. Don't deceive yourself. It's not just about Western culture. Even those Africans too. Some people don't want to have kids, and even though they want to have kids, some people want to take their time, plan, and get before they have kids. Take for instance, I love kids. I wanted to have kids, but I wanted it in a particular time. Like, going by my plans, I wanted, like, oh, coming here, getting a job, working, saving some money, putting some things together before having kids. But when brother is not in the same space with you, that's not going to happen. That's why you have to talk about it. You have to talk about if this person wants to have kids. You have to talk about what kind of what sex of kids. Don't just go, oh, we're just going to have kids. Some people want male, some people want female, and you have to talk about these things before you get into marriage, because not you going there now thinking, okay, we're just going to have kids, and at the end of the day, you're having maybe female children. This person and the family is pressurizing you of not having a male child. I mean, it still happens. Sometimes reverse is the case. This person, you're just having male kids, and now this person wants female kids. Yes, I've seen men that really, really wants female kids. Like, they've been trying to have a female kid, that they ended up having like 7, 9 children because they want female kids. So you have to decide. You have to talk about these things. Should, in case we have female kids, how many kids do we want? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Like, how many do we want? If we all have 5 kids, if we all have female kids, are we going to be okay with it? If we all have male kids, are we going to be okay with it without letting an external body come to pressurize us, like our families, like our in-laws and everybody else, the online in-laws coming to tell us what we should have and what we should not have? You have to talk about these things and make sure you know what you're going into, just in case these things start happening. Agree on how many kids you want. Plan for the kids. Yes, before you get married, you can start planning for your kids. What are your plans for your kids? What kind of school do you want your kids to go to? Like, do you want your kids to go to Ivy League school? You want them to go to Harvard? What like, how much should we be putting out or keeping aside for these kids? Like, what are your plans? What are the plans of nanny? Before you get married is when you have this discussion of who is coming for babysitting, like Nigerians call it, who is coming for Mugo. Before the kids come, before the kid starts coming, that's when you should discuss it, so that when that time comes, you and your partner, you guys are on the same pace. Not when the baby is already here, or the mother of the boy wants to come, the mother of the girl wants to come. Well, if you guys have enough room to fit everybody, go ahead and do that. But these are the things you have to discuss before the kids come, before you get married. Only just it's very, very important. These things, as little and trivial as they are, these are the things that causes problem in marriage. These are the things that causes issues in marriage. Find out if people wants to have kids or not. Yes, find out. I've already talked about that. Find out if they want to have kids. Not everybody wants to have kids, and sometimes some people know that they're not going to have kids. They already know that I can't make babies, but they go into the marriage anyway. Why do you want to deceive the person? Why do you want to deceive your partner, knowing that you can make babies? Be it the man or the woman, something. It could be not something that they did. It could be medical issues. Like, you talk about it. Look, this person is not a good fit for me. Then you go ahead and look for somebody else and make an informed decision, and stop giving yourself a headache when you're married for something that you should have discussed before marriage and gotten rid of. Please help yourself and help the next person. Number 4, people fail to talk about personal goals. Yes, because you are married, don't mean that you don't have your own personal dreams and aspirations. If you dreamt about being let's say if your goal or your aspiration is to be a pilot, don't say because I'm married then you shove your dreams under the carpet, that you're not going to do what you want to do again. Oh, it's about what my husband wants, or it's about what my wife wants, or it's about my kids. You have dreams, you have aspirations, you have goals, you had a life before you got married. Don't just throw that life away. Get your partner involved in your own personal goals, in your own life, and see that person is on board with you. Don't live in regrets and wallow in pity and wallow in shame and say, oh, and think that the marriage has cost you your dreams or something. No, marriage is supposed to be a beautiful thing. Marriage is supposed to be something that you enjoy. It's supposed to be fun. So talk about it. Like, oh, tell your partner, you know what, I'm trying to I'm in school, I'm trying to be a pilot, I'm trying to be a doctor, I'm going to be a doctor, even though it doesn't work like right now, but these are the things I want to do. I want to go into fashion, I want to go into business. These are the things I want to do. So you talk about it before you get married. So when you are in marriage, it's going to be easier for you to navigate your way through it. Your partner is going to be on the same page with you. Not when you get married, finally you're finally married, and so your spouse or your husband is telling you, oh, you cannot work. You cannot work, really? When you have ambitions, when you have aspiration to be a bank manager, and now this man is telling you you're gonna stay at home and take care of the babies. Oh my God, you're gonna stay home, take care of the baby, clean the house, wash my clothes. Really? From a bank manager or a bank executive to being a sit-at-home mom. It's not like sit-at-home mom is not a good thing. I mean, right now is a job. Some countries pay sit-at-home moms and that, but you have to talk about it. If this person is like somebody that is not going to let you pursue your dreams, pursue your career, pursue something very important in your life, they will definitely give you a red flag. They will tell you, oh, say, some men will go back about telling you, oh, you know, my wife, I don't want anything to stress my wife. I'm earning enough money to take care of this. But when you hear that, until run for your life, that man is not going to let you leave the house for anything, even to go to go and get groceries. They are ready to pay people to get groceries for you, so you don't leave the house. So when you see these things, don't say, oh, when we get married, it's going to change. Sister, it's not going to change. This person is going to continue. So talk about your personal goals, talk about your personal dreams, aspirations, what you want to do, what you want to achieve for your life. Bring it to the table so that you and your partner can go ahead and talk about them, and don't live under anybody's shadow. Yes, don't live under anybody's shadow. Remember, when you get to heaven, you're gonna stand before God by yourself. God gave you talent, God gave you gifts, and you're supposed to reproduce. You're supposed to make do with what God, like, produce something tangible. Impart the world with the investment of your personality, with what God has given to you. Don't go and hide under, oh, it's because I'm married, or it's because I have kids, that's why I can't go back to school. Who told you because you have kids you cannot go back to school? Who Who told you that? You can go to school. You can be anything you want to be. You can go back and get a career. You can go back and do anything you want to do. Okay? Don't let anybody deceive you. That's why I'm telling you to talk about these things before you get married. It's very important, sister. Number 5 point, people fail to talk about their past experiences and past relationship. Now, when you're getting married, go ahead and lay everything on the table. Lay the cards on the table. Tell your partner, you know what? I was in this relationship. I got hurt by this person, or this thing happened to me. I was abused when I was a kid, or when I was young. This happened to me. My parents did this, or somebody did this to me. Go ahead and talk about those things so that you guys will be on the same page. Let your partner know, so that when just in case you are exhibiting some of those character, because some of these things that our past hurts and past experiences, we bring them into our marriage. Because somebody hurt you 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that you didn't let go, is affecting the way you relate to your spouse, to your husband. You have trust issue. You are afraid. You cannot, things are just happening to you and in your marriage because of the things that you've experienced in your past. Honey, it's very important for you to talk about these things. Talk about what happened when you were a kid. Talk about your past relationship. I mean, any sensible man or a sensible woman is not going to judge you by your past. They shouldn't judge you by your past. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared to talk about, this is what happened to me, so that this person would know how to help you, just in case you're still having issues with what happened to you in your past. Learn to trust your spouse. Yes, if this person is going to be your husband, if you want to do forever with this person and you've agreed that you want to marry this person, then you should be able to tell them anything. Don't allow your past to affect your present. Yes, don't allow what has happened to you when you were a kid. Don't bring it into your marriage. The only time you bring it into your marriage is when you are talking about it with your spouse, when you're talking about it with your husband or with your wife, so that so that this person will know what's going on and know how to help you. Tip number 6, we fail to talk about our religious beliefs and our faith. Sisters, don't be so desperate that you get to a point that you want to go and marry an unbeliever. Don't get to that point in your life. Say, whatever comes, I'm going to. I just want to manage it. That you're not married does not mean you're not missing out on anything. If you're single, be single with pride. If you're single, not everybody is going to get married, okay? So don't compromise your faith. Don't compromise what you believe just because you want to answer a missus. No. That time, if you desire to get married, keep praying, keep believing, keep doing the right things that you're doing. Definitely the right mister will come your way, the right miss will come your way. But don't compromise. Don't say, the time is against me, or my mates are married. Your mates are married. Not all your mates are happy in their marriage. Not all your mates are enjoying their marriage. So sisters, calm down. Brothers, calm down. Okay? Don't jeopardize your faith. Don't say, okay, I'm going to marry him. I'm going to marry him. When we get married, I'm going to change him. Sister, you cannot change anybody. I've said it before. You can't change anybody. Brother, you cannot change anybody. If somebody that except God is the only person that has the ability, and the Holy Spirit is the only one that has the ability to change anybody. You cannot change anybody. If you're seeing red, this is red right now, it is going to be red when you get married. If this person is hitting you right now, they are going to hit you when you guys get married. If this person is not born again, the Bible says, do not be equally yoked with your unbeliever. What are you doing? What are you? I remember my pastor said, you got a wife or a husband from hell because you were trading in the path of hell. Yes, you were walking in hell. You were strolling past hell. That's why you got a wife or you got a husband that came from hell. So sisters and brothers, do not compromise your faith. If you see that this sister is not up to the standard, or is not a Christian, or this thing that this person is doing does not fit into your faith, brother, don't marry that sister. Sister, don't marry that brother, because this person is not going to change. Anybody that makes you deviate from the plans of God for your life, do not marry these people. They are the wrong people. So you have to talk about it. Tell them, okay, I go to church every Sunday. I go to Wednesday service every Sunday. I'm a choir director. I'm a pastor. I'm a church coordinator. I'm a cell leader. I am this, I'm that. I'm always in the church. If my pastor pastor calls me right now, I'm going to pack my bag and go where he wants me to go. Make your stand known right now that you're not married, so that it's not when you get married and I say, okay, I'm just going to marry the sister now. When we get married, she's going to gradually change. She's not going to change. She's going to knock to a point that you're going to even leave church. You, brother, that you think you're a church coordinator, you're going to leave church. You that you think you're a pastor, you're very strong. Wait until you marry somebody that nags. Wait until you marry somebody that does not support your dreams and your aspirations and your goals and your God-given gifts and talents. You find out that you're going to be so frustrated that you're going to just succumb. Instead of you pulling them out of the hole, they are going to pull you down. So do not compromise your faith. If you're a Christian, be a Christian. Do not be ashamed of the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. Don't be ashamed, okay? Stand your ground. The right person will come your way. If both of you are Christian from different denominations, this is the time that you're going to talk about which church you're going to be going to. Yes, this is the time to talk about it. Not on Sunday morning, this person is going to Believers Know God Ministry, and this person is going to Believers Love God Ministry. No. This is the time you guys you're going to discuss, okay, if we're getting married, this is how our life is going to be. This is the church we're going to go. We're going to grow under this man of God. We're on Sundays, we're going to take our keys to this church. It is before marriage that you talk about these things. Not on the Sunday morning, the wife and the kids are going to another church and the man is going to another church. You can't grow like that. How are you going to pray? You're praying in tongues and your spouse is telling you, oh, you're disturbing me. You pray too much, you speak in tongues too much, you go to church too much, you give too much. Sister, brother, that's not the right person for you, and you are going to find out when you talk about these things. You can't find when you find out in marriage, it's already too late. You have to find out before marriage and make sure that this person is the right person or is the wrong person. And if it's the wrong person, don't hesitate to let go. Don't hesitate to let go. God is going to bring the right person your way, okay? Tip number 7, we fail to talk about our love language. Honey, please, this is very important. This is very important. Learn to find out what the person you're marrying, what is important to them. Because don't just assume, ladies like outing. Not everybody likes to go out. Some people like to be at home. Some people like to just watch Netflix at home and relax at home and have their quiet time at home. Everybody is not an outgoing person. So find out what works for your partner. Find out what works for them, because this one I can't find out their love language. What do they like? Do they like homemade food? Do they like to eat out? Do they like shopping? Guys have a way of thinking that every lady likes it all flashy, likes all flashy things. Yes, ladies are moved by what they see, but some people you can't buy them with your gifts. So some people are very keen about how you behave, how you look, and all of those things. So find out your spouse or the person you're going to marry. Find out the person you're dating. Find out what is their love language, because I can't start pointing this is what you should be looking out for, because everybody is different. Everybody is different. My love language is going to be different, might be different from your love language. So find out what makes this person happy. Sometimes people can take when you talk to them rudely and they will just let go. Some women can't take it, some men can't take it. So you have to find out what makes this person happy. What is love to this person? Find out what is, if you say I love you, or what does that really mean? When I say I love you, some people like cuddling. Some people like different things. Find out what your partner wants, or what the person you're dating or the person you're cutting with, what their love language is. These are the things you discuss before marriage, because if you don't discuss about them before marriage, when you're already in marriage, it's going to be so difficult for you to navigate and try to find out things for yourself. When you're dating, when you're cutting, is the right time for you to talk about everything and anything that you're going to see. Okay, this person is a good fit for me. I can fix this thing about myself. If I think I'm not doing well in this area, is this the kind of person I want to spend my life with? These are the things you talk about before you get married, because when you're already married, I don't want to say it's too late, because nothing is too late. You can fix anything. You can fix anything by like compromising, like coming to the point that where you guys talk about it, communicate, and fix some things. Even though you now you can't work out. You're in marriage, no, you cannot work out anymore, except something bad is really really happening. So my sisters and my brothers, I want you to look at these things. I mean, there should be other things, but these are the 7 that I want us to talk about today. Things we do, the mistakes we make before we get married. You see that if you talk about your sexual desires and sexual needs, if you talk about your finances, if you talk about kids, what, like how you guys are going to maneuver when kids comes, if you talk about these things, you're going to have a beautiful marriage and a beautiful relationship. Now that you talked about these things, doesn't mean that challenges don't still come in marriage. Honey, challenges will come, but now you know you have less issues, you have less things to like worry about. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the like button, go ahead and comment, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, go ahead and share, make people know what is going on here. I appreciate you. That's how you keep me motivated to always come here to talk about these things. If there's anything you want us to talk about in our next video, just go ahead and put that in the comment below, or send me a message privately. Next time we're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about next time? We're going to be talking about insecurity in marriage. So watch out for that. We're going to be talking about insecurity in marriage or in relationships. So until I see you next time, keep having a beautiful relationship, keep having a beautiful marriage. God bless you and keep winning. I love you.